First thing that we want to do is define, again, just for review, what a hybrid woman is. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the term modern woman. Modern woman is the women that we don't want. We don't want them. They are for recreational purposes. If you choose to clap their cheeks, so be it. I won't even clap their cheeks anymore. I don't deal with them at all. I won't go out with them. I won't do anything with modern women. Traditional women are the women that a lot of men say that they want, that they are looking for. These women were raised to be wives. They are very stable. They are very nurturing. They are about being a stay-at-home mom, taking care of the kids, taking care of their husband. Family always comes first. They're very locked in in terms of their job as a mother, wife, etc. They're very locked in. Modern women are all about themselves. They're about their money. They're about their job, their careers, building their empire themselves. So I tell men when I coach them all the time, if you run into a modern woman, if you want to have some fun, be honest. Just tell her, I want to have some fun. I just want to have some fun. I'm not interested in dating seriously. The best thing that you can do, in my opinion, is just leave modern women alone to their own devices. But if you are going to deal with them, always wear protection and make sure that you're very honest and upfront with them that this is not going to be headed towards a relationship or marriage. Now, it's been a battle between modern women and traditional women for quite some time now. But as I've been doing these lives and I've been doing my research, I said that there's a woman that's in the middle. There's a woman that's definitely in the middle. And that woman, I have coined the phrase hybrid woman. The hybrid woman is in the middle. Now, the hybrid woman has some characteristics of the modern woman, the good characteristics, and some characteristics of the traditional woman. But it's very important that if you're a man dating a hybrid woman, that you don't let her lean. She needs to stay right in the middle. She cannot lean too far towards being a modern woman. She can't lean too far towards being that. Cannot lean too far. So if she starts leaning too far, you got to have a conversation. You got to have conversation with her if you start going too far. Let's see. Let's address something that TC said. Wow, you want a traditional woman, but just told men how to sleep use women? Are you better? No, I didn't tell them that. I told men that I don't deal with modern women. But if they choose to deal with modern women, if that is their choice, these are not women that you would marry. These are not women that you get in relationships with because they're not family oriented. And they're definitely not about supporting and uplifting and inspiring their man. They are about their businesses, their empire. It's me, I. Very simple. So I don't even deal with them. I won't touch them, go out on a date with them, talk to them. And you can always tell a modern woman when she says, I'm a strong, independent woman, I don't need no man. She is a modern woman. Hybrid women don't say that. Hybrid women say, I'm looking for someone. It's hard out here alone. I'm looking to partner with someone. I'm looking to find my match, my spouse, my mate, my husband, my Boaz, whatever terminology that you want to use. There is a difference. I only see modern women for recreational purposes, fun. That's it. And what it comes down to is being honest with them. You tell them the truth. Hey, I know you're busy with your career. You're busy building your legacy and all of the things that you're doing. So I just want to let you know that I'm interested in dating you, but it'll be on a casual basis. This is not something that I'm looking to take farther than us just dating casually. You have to be honest with them, gentlemen. Just tell them the truth. Because it's going to be a headache if you try to get into a relationship with a modern woman. First of all, she packs her schedule so full of things to do, she has no time for you. She tries to be everything to everybody so that she can feel like the center of attention. On top of that, if she's working for a career, she works for free a lot. A lot of modern women have jobs that they don't get paid by the hour, they get paid by salary. And they're more than happy to work over because they're trying to prove something so that they can move up in the company. They have no problem with working for free. They do a lot of working for free because their man is their boss. Their man is their job, their career. So they don't mind working for free, right? They don't mind doing anything for their boss. But if you are dating a modern woman and you ask them to do something for you, nope. PFN said not necessarily. For some, work defines us. That's a modern woman. PFN is exactly. Thank you, PFN, for proving my point. And I'm going to write that down. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, PFN. Work defines the modern woman. Their job, their career defines them. Let's write that down. That's great. A modern woman. Thank you, PFN. Work, career, business defines them. That's great. They're boss bees. They're trying to be the best men that they can be. But what we want to talk about is the woman that's in the middle. We want to talk about the hybrid woman. And everybody tap the screen. We need to get to 15,000 likes, please. We want to talk about the hybrid woman. Now, in part one earlier today, we talked about the hybrid woman usually coming from a single parent home, but their primary parent was a good parent, or they could have come from a co-parenting situation. What's up, Black? Welcome in. But they had mentors, they had grandparents, they had aunts, uncles, they had someone around to show them the right way to treat people, the right way to do things, and family became very important to them. So they grew up in a good family because they had mentors and other people around them, even if it wasn't their direct blood relatives. They had people that took them under their wing to show them the importance of togetherness and family. Educated. They're educated. And it's two types of educated hybrid women. One has an elite education. They go into HBCUs. You know, they're going to Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Johns Hopkins. They're going to Columbia, NYU. They're going to elite schools because they're very, very intelligent. They've worked hard to get there. And those are going to be your lawyers, your doctors, your professors, your speech therapists. These are going to be biologists, scientists, mathematicians. These people have higher learning at an elite level. Then you have the standard education. And those educations include women who are hairstylists, nurses, social workers. They work for nonprofit organizations. They lead up major chains like Costco or grocery stores. These are women that are at the center core of what makes our economy work, just like those men. And they make great money. Like hairstylists makes great money, especially gluing those raccoons and squirrels on y'all head. You make great money. So they have education and they have a good career. Now, yes, some run their own businesses from home as well, but they do want a family, unlike the modern woman. They're not apt to go at it alone when they're trying to have a family. They're apt to, hey, I want to find someone that I can have a child with and we can raise that child together. They don't say, I don't need a man, I want a man. That's what modern women say. Hybrid women say, no, I understand the value of a man, and I want the right man for me. I want a man that I can partner with and build something quality. No, modern women don't want families. Modern women want control. They will go out and have a lot of kids to control a narrative in a situation that modern women say things like this. Well, I'm the mama and the daddy. So I celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day. They are single moms. Modern women are single moms, and they do it over and over again. It's not a one-time thing. Oops, I made a mistake. They're out here with 3, 4, 5 kids, multiple different men. They're doing it every day, all day. Multiple kids, multiple baby daddies, but they got everything under control when they really don't, when things are spiraling out of control. So, the hybrid woman is serious about relationships and marriage. And they need a good leader, and communication is very important from whoever their spouse is going to be. Whoever their spouse is going to be. Now, we got to talk about the challenges with with hybrid women, because pretty much all of them have some type of trauma. It's hard to get past the age of between 25 and 30 without experiencing some type of trauma. It could have been a loss of a parent, a loss of a brother or sister. It could have been some type of SA situation, some type of aggressive behavior, something. More than likely, they're going to have trauma. Now, a hybrid woman oftentimes hides the trauma that they're experiencing. They don't trust a lot of people to tell them what's going on in their mind and their heart. So if you're a man and you're going to date a hybrid woman, and if you're a hybrid woman, it's very important for you to get therapy. It's critical. It's a critical mass thing. It's hard to make any relationship work when you got trauma and you don't know when you're going to get triggered. And all of a sudden, something happens one day, you're having a great time, and you get triggered by something that happened in the past, and it throws your entire day off. So, as a hybrid woman, you got a lot to prove, and you want to prove that. You got the education, you got the job, but sometimes you work so hard. Sometimes you work so hard that you know what you forget? You forget to take care of your mental health. So we find a lot of hybrid women who are exhausted. They are exhausted. They are not only exhausted, but they are just kind of beat down. They got a lot on their mind. They're stressed out. So the best way when you're dealing with a hybrid woman to alleviate some of that stress is create a safe space for her to come and talk to you about the things that's actually bothering her. It's very, very important that you don't make light of the trauma and the stress that a hybrid woman is dealing with, because she'll never talk to you about it again. She'll never talk to you about doing it again. She'll never talk to you about it. So it's very it's very important that she gets therapy, because that will help her balance out her life and balance out things and help her to have a fuller life. She can deal with those things that happened in her childhood. the creepy uncle, the creepy cousin, the way that her mom talked about her weight, the way that she was treated by certain people in school, the bullying, all of those things come along with a certain amount of trauma, eating challenges, one way or the other. It's a lot that comes along with a hybrid woman. So you have to be prepared. But they're tough-minded, and that's why that they've gotten to a certain place in life. That's how they were able to get that education. That's how they're able to hold together their career. That's how they're able to put together a business. But they understand that they can't be an island. They understand that. They get it. So they are interested in finding the right man to be their spouse. One of the things that I did when I had a hybrid woman who had a lot of trauma was we went to couples therapy. We went to couples counseling. And couples counseling actually worked out really good because it was a lot of things that she wouldn't actually tell me that when we got in counseling, it made a lot of sense why she had certain responses to certain things. It just made a whole bunch of sense. So if you're serious about keeping your relationship together, couples counseling is never a bad idea. Never. Next, if you're a man, you got to be very transparent with a hybrid woman. She needs transparency. She requires transparency. And when I say transparency, I mean transparent. She is the type of woman that needs to know what she's dealing with. She don't mind dealing with the challenges that you have in life, but she needs to know what she's dealing with. She needs to know what she's facing. It's a thing that she feels safety in the fact that I know what I got to deal with. I know what I got to face, and we're going to come up with a plan together to overcome it. She feels safety in that, in the organization of it. The next thing, when we're talking about transparency, you need to be transparent, gentlemen, in your finances with these women. If you're going through a financial hardship, you have to tell them. If you're going through a rebuilding phase, as many people do, you have to tell them. I've gone through rebuilding phases in my life, but communicating that and getting out of the way of your own ego and pride is very important because financial security is critically important to a hybrid woman. So if you're going through a downturn in your business, that's a conversation that you need to have sooner rather than later. Don't think that, oh, I'm going to make something happen before I have to have the conversation, so then I won't have to have the conversation. That is not the way to deal with a hybrid woman. You have to come to her and have open communication and be very transparent. This is important. You also need to be very transparent with the future plans. Gentlemen, it's not going to be this, well, we just vibe and see where things go with a hybrid woman. You can do that with a modern woman. You cannot do that with a hybrid woman or a traditional woman. Because with a modern woman, things ain't going nowhere but to the garbage dump, to the trash. That's where things are going. But with a hybrid woman and a traditional woman, they need to know where they stand inside of the relationship. There should be no ambiguity about where they stand. There should be no confusion about where they stand with you. And a year and a half, gentlemen, that's plenty enough time to know whether you want to marry that woman. Anything over a year and a half, you're wasting her time. It doesn't take that long. It does not take that long. And hybrid women sometimes make a mistake of giving too much time to one man. And that's one of the things that you guys got to avoid. As a hybrid woman, you can't give more than 2 years to a man. If he ain't going to marry you in 2 years, he ain't marrying you. because you're giving him. A woman told me something that hurt my heart to the core the other day. She said, I feel like he stole years from me, my childbearing years. And that really resonated with me. I feel like he stole years from me. I'm going to tell you guys something. Men will sit back and enjoy themselves with no plans to marry you. So you have to make sure you ask them, hey, we getting married? What is happening? I need to know what's going on with our future. Now, do it in a nice way. Don't do it in an aggressive way, but have that conversation. And if it's not going anywhere and he's not looking towards ring shopping, then it's probably time for you to move on and find someone who is at the same place in their life as you. That simple. Cannot waste time. A year and a half is the max that a relationship should be with hybrid women to determine whether you want to get married. Cannot waste time. Now, I was married for 12 years, and the woman that I was married to was a hybrid woman. I did all of the cooking in our house. I'm a good cook. So I did all the cooking in our house. She did a lot of the cleaning. I handled things outside of the home, the yard, certain things. I'm not really handy, but I would bring people in to do whatever was necessary. I did what I could, but I wasn't going to mess up a beautiful house. You're going to have to share the household chores and duties with a hybrid woman, gentlemen, because you might get home before her at some times. She might get home before you at some times. So there's going to be sharing of the household chores and duties. You know, learn how to clean the kitchen, learn how to clean the bathrooms, do the floors, mop, sweep, help her with the laundry. Really kind of get in on those things so that you guys can have more time to spend with each other. Because one of the things about a hybrid woman, and I'm going to say this, women ain't going to like this. Hybrid women rarely get much in a divorce. Hybrid women rarely get much in a divorce because they make so much money. I was married to a woman for 12 years. I told her, I helped her build her career. I told her when we was getting a divorce, I was like, you're not going to get a penny. Not even 1 red cent. Not even a penny. And guess what? She didn't. She makes a lot of money. I made a lot of money. I told her very clearly, I said, you're not going to get a penny. So in many respects, marrying a hybrid woman for men mitigates your risks of a woman taking everything. Now, if you marry a traditional woman and a traditional woman divorces you, or you're going to be paying till Jesus comes back to take us all to glory. If she's a stay-at-home mom, you're going to be paying until Jesus comes back to take us all to glory. Not with a hybrid woman, because she has earnings. She's in the market. She's already in the job market. She has a high level of education. She can earn for herself, take care of herself. That's something to think about as a man. Hybrid women don't get a lot in divorces. They don't. A lot of times, they don't even get child support, depending on what their job is, because the man might have an easier, a more flexible schedule to be with the children. So a lot of men are concerned about marrying women because if they divorce them, they're going to take everything. Hybrid woman can't. Like Vivian said, some end up actually paying their man. That is just how it is. And especially if you're in a state like California, you're going to pay. I can tell you that right now. You make more than him, ladies, you paying. That's just how it is. California don't care. They don't have that whole thing where, oh, it's the woman, so we're going to give her an advantage. It is hyper down the middle. There is no advantages. So someone asked the question earlier, is she going to cut the grass? No, I mean, I would take care of stuff like that. At our house, we didn't really have grass. We had turf. So it was nothing to cut. But like we had plants and stuff, and I would water the plants, pull weeds, call people to do certain things, you know. But yeah. Vivian said, my friend pays her man $13,000 a month, and she has the kids more. Their earning disparity is huge. Hybrid women make a lot of money. That's just how it is. And they're going to be treated as such by the court. The court's going to treat them as such. Now, does anybody have any questions about the hybrid woman at this point? Is there any questions? Is there anybody that want to come in and talk at this point? Now is the time to request. You have to have over 1,000 followers to come in. Well, we got somebody. Let's see what Dazzle Diva style. Hey, Dazzle, how you doing? Welcome in.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Everybody's good.
I just wanted to come up here and commend you, Don. Don, you done did something with that hybrid woman. You own it. You,
Yeah.
you you definitely. And you know, when I saw your video when you was breaking it down, and I was like, wow, that's who raised me. Hybrid women raised me.
Right.
And that's what I am. They took care of the house, they took care of their husband, and they went to work.
Right.
And they were extremely successful.
Right.
Extremely successful. Husband was happy. Wasn't
Yep.
no arguing in there. I didn't grow up seeing that. I grew up seeing women be able to do it all.
Right.
You know, and the husband, my granddaddy and my dad, like they didn't treat them differently. They still loved them. They supported them. Like that's what I saw growing up.
Well, it's one thing. I'm glad you mentioned that because it's one thing that hybrid women do have a challenge with. They got to stop hanging out with modern women because,
Right.
because because all the men see is the modern women. They can't differentiate the two.
Right.
A lot of hybrid women, they do have this challenge. They hang out a lot of times with the wrong women. I have
Right.
seen this a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, what are you doing? You're a lawyer, you're an attorney, you hanging out with someone who essentially sells her body? You are hanging out with the wrong people. And men can't tell you apart. Men can't tell you apart. If you're a hybrid woman, to find the man that you want, the level of man that you want, you might have to cut off a lot of your friends.
Right.
Especially the friends that act a fool on social media, the friends that go and cut up their baby daddy's Jordans and write cheater on the side of his car and slash his tires.
Yeah.
The friend that you done had to bail out of jail. The one that
Right.
every time y'all plan a trip, she never has the money. But everything she got in her bag is new, but she didn't have no money for a trip, so you're subsidizing it.
Right.
Like that is and hybrid women have a huge challenge with breaking off some of those friendships. They got the stripper friends, they got the OnlyFans friends. They don't do it, but they have those friends.
Right. And it was a conversation that I was in earlier on a live, and the guy's topic was leading by example. And we brought up this very thing that you're talking about now about hanging out with people that you're not aligned with. Because the thing about it is a lot of those women that you're talking about that are lawyers, doctors, nurses, and they have these friends, what they think is that they're thinking that because their mindset is so strong that it doesn't matter who they hang out with, those people can't rub off on them. But what they don't understand is it doesn't matter how strong of a mindset you have. If you surround yourself around those types of people in certain environments long enough, it's definitely going to rub off on you. And my thing is this: if I go to school and I work hard and I bust my tail to have this certain lifestyle, why would I want to be hanging out with women that are not a representation of what I worked so hard to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish in my life? And I
Mm-hmm.
definitely wouldn't want that to allow me to miss out on my husband. Because if
Mm-hmm.
I had to pick between having some girlfriends and a husband, I'm gonna pick a husband.
Mm-hmm.
And a
And
lot of women, they're torn between that because they have these friends that they've been friends with for a long time. But in actuality, a lot of them have already outgrown. You just holding on to the friendship because of how long y'all been friends. And you're not even comfortable around these women for real.
yeah, because those women gonna get you in trouble.
Right.
I have seen good women lose their nursing licenses.
Oh, wow.
I've seen good women lose licenses to practice all different types of jobs because they hung out with the wrong person. Getting caught up in scandals that have nothing to do with them. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, you hybrid women are really in a tough position because
Right.
a lot of times they have these friends that live on the edge of, they live on the fringes of what is legal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to say it. These women are on the fringes of what is legal, and you never know what's in that car. You never know
Right.
what's in that house, that hotel. And modern women they gonna hang out with them. But hybrid women and traditional women shouldn't be anywhere near an
Mm-hmm.
an an IG model.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I definitely agree with you. And I learned a lot of those lessons when I was much younger because when I was younger, I hung out with older people. And older people were always attracted to me because of how mature I was. But then I realized when I got a little bit older, I started to say, well, these people are older than me, but how is it that I'm doing better than them? Like,
Mm,
they're telling me, oh, I'm learning from you, but I should have been learning from them. And
yeah.
I figured out very quickly that you have to be careful who you surround yourself around and then a lot of times those people be the ones that's jealous of you too,
Yes.
because
Yes.
you on a whole nother level and they become
Yes.
envious. It may
And,
not start off like that,
and I'm gonna tell you
but
something. Those girls will definitely try to smash your man.
oh yeah, oh
And
yeah.
listen, it is an absolute guarantee that those women that you guys are hanging around with that you know you shouldn't be hanging around with, they're gonna try to smash your dude. Just letting you know.
Right.
Just letting you know. And I hear this from women a lot of times. Oh no, I never bring my man around them. You on social media, you're connected together. They
Right.
know they know who your dude is. They go follow him. And now they show up in his DMs.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you doing, you telling them how good the D is.
Mm-hmm.
You telling them how good the sex is. So, and how good he treats you. So what you guys got to understand, ladies, dating is a competition. All is fair in love and war. A woman will take your man. Well, she will, she would straight grab him. It's happened many a day. And so you got to be very careful that, like, if you want to be married, hang out with married people. So that way, when a man that's interested in you sees you, he don't see you with bots and IG models and boss chicks. He sees you with, oh, she's with great people. So if I became her friend or I dated her, I would be in a great circle. Don't hang out with confusion and chaos. Thank you, Dazzle. I appreciate you. Don't hang out in confusion and chaos, ladies. Somebody said in Atlanta, they are ruthless. Atlanta got so many modern women running around there, boy. Atlanta has become a challenging place. Let's just say it like that. Atlanta has become a challenging place for dating. A lot of black people scurried their asses to Atlanta, scurried their asses onto Atlanta, and they have turned that place into a modern Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's so many women in Atlanta selling cat. It don't make no sense. It's so many women in Atlanta selling cat. They selling it like Christmas trees at Christmas. So many of them. They got a job and they selling cat on the side. That's happening in Atlanta a lot. A lot. And I do not know what it's going to take to fix it, but I do know that I know a lot of eligible bachelors, men that live in Atlanta. And my goodness, the stories that they tell me on a day to day basis are crazy. Your favorite, Nikki said, it seems like good women are out of style this generation as well. I don't think that they're out of style. I think hybrid women are good women. I do. I think hybrid women are good women. A hybrid woman is a woman that you can marry and build a life with. For sure. Hey, Miss Dakini said, I wasn't prepared coming from London. It's gonna a lot of people ain't prepared for what Atlanta brings to the table. Atlanta is I'm serious. It is the mecca of modern women. I'm gonna be honest. I've been to Atlanta a bunch of times, and man, it's just a turnoff to go most places. Just not interested. It is literally the mecca of modern women. You try to meet a nice woman in Atlanta. Next thing you know, she's trying to sell you some cat. You think you vibing, and the next thing she's like, "Yeah, okay, so it's 300 for the hour, and 1,500 for all night." Seriously, seriously, I'm not joking. Black Hanson said, "Wow, I am being serious. They are selling cat in the strip clubs. They are selling cat in the high end restaurants. They are selling cat at Lenox Mall. They are selling cat all over the place. They are out there just they selling cat on dating websites. They just out there selling cat. And I don't and clearly somebody is paying for it. Somebody's paying for it. Probably mostly married men, but someone's paying for it. Like there's women out there that are working decent jobs, but they're living in $7,000 a month apartments. How they doing that? That's almost 90 grand in rent. They live in high rises that are 7,000 a month. How they doing that? Selling that cat. I think Atlanta has become the mecca of modern women. I really do. I saw a post from a guy saying all of the things that, as a man, if you go to Atlanta or you're in Atlanta and you're trying to date, you should be prepared for. You should be prepared for. And it was a pretty interesting and depressing post at the same time. And one of them was, STDs run rampant in Atlanta. A lot of the women don't want to use protection. There's a lot of things that's challenging about Atlanta right now. And I hope it can get cleaned up. I hope it can get better. And I'm sure that there are traditional women and hybrid women lurking somewhere in the shadows of Atlanta, but the modern women are just so loud. They make a lot of noise. Modern women make a lot of noise. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, You're going to have to disassociate yourself with the modern women, because when men see you, we don't know. We don't know who you are. How does traditional and hybrid women get seen? By being in places where the type of men that you want go to. Don't go to the club because the type of men that you want are not there. The type of men that you want are at high-end restaurants at happy hour. The type of men that you want are at top, they go to Top Golf. They go to Top Golf. They're at business conventions, at the convention center. They were at IT conventions, tech conventions. They're at cigar and cognac bars. They're doing wine tasting. They're doing grown-up stuff. They're not doing bottle service anymore. You're going to see them at car shows. They'll be at car shows looking at concept cars. Those men go to car shows. Car shows is a great place to meet men, ladies. It's a fantastic place to meet men who are interested in nice women. Car shows, men love car shows. They love to go to those. Live concerts outside that are like festivals for like R&B and jazz and pop and different stuff like that. New modern art exhibits. Modern modern art exhibits. There's plenty of places. You're not going to find them on the block. You're not going to find them in the club. You got to go to the places where those men go. And those men like to do nice things. So they go to nice spots. That's what it comes down to. So the hardest thing I think for a hybrid woman to do is let her friends go. The modern women friends. The friends that she knows she got no business hanging around. You're going to have to do some soul searching, some of you ladies. You're going to have to do some soul searching. How many times has that friend got you into trouble where she wanted to go and have intercourse with a guy and she had you coming along as her wing woman, and all of a sudden you got some guy that you're not even remotely attracted to trying to push up on you? How many times have that happened? How many times? Latreia said, I am a widow, and I think it's hopeless to find what I had in my husband. Latreia, if you haven't already gone to therapy, you need to go to therapy, because you can't compare new men that you're going to find to your husband. He was a one of a kind human being. You know, someone gave me a good advice. I had messed up with this woman that I really liked, and I was not really giving other women a chance because I was comparing everything to her. And she told me, she was like, you got to stop comparing other people to her, because no one else is her. So you won't ever give anybody a chance. It was some of the best advice that I got. It was some good advice. If you're going to continue to compare everybody new to what you once had, it's going to be hard to find anybody new. It's going to be difficult because that person is not a clone. There's not a clone of that person out there. And they don't exist. Kenny said, problem is they claim healing journeys, but sleeping around while they're healing. You can't have a healing journey without therapy. That's why my dating rule number 4 is don't get into a relationship without therapy. Don't get into a new relationship. If you came out of a traumatic relationship, If you came out of a relationship where you say that the person was narcissistic, this men or women, or they abused you in some way, do not get into a new relationship. Do not get into a new relationship without therapy. Dama said, this man is insulting black women and y'all saying thanks for the tips. This ain't class. Dame, have you been in here? Do you know what we're discussing? Do you know what we're discussing, Dame? Ladies in the chat, have I been insulting black women on this live? Yes or no? Put it in the comments. Dame, I think that you came in and you didn't know what we were talking about, and you're speaking out of turn. But you're welcome to stay. We welcome everybody here. We're talking about hybrid woman, the hybrid woman, and the rise of the hybrid woman. That's what we're talking about. And we're talking about great places for the hybrid woman to go to find the type of man that they want. Your favorite said, I think you hit home with something and she got triggered. Maybe. You know what the one thing that I understand, one thing that I understand, I learned this a long time ago. Um, Somebody told me when you go into a new situation and people are having a conversation, take the time to listen and figure out what they're talking about so that you won't start talking about something that has nothing to do with what they're talking about. Before you jump in, make sure before you jump in. Hey, the real Quay, welcome in. So the part one of the hybrid woman is already on YouTube. So if you guys are not following me on YouTube, you can go and rewatch the whole show. All you gotta do is click the link in the bio, and it's right there in the full length videos, the live videos tab. And this one will be up tonight as well. This one will be up tonight as well. So it'll go over. It's going to be 3 parts of the hybrid woman. We did part 1 earlier. This is part 2. Tomorrow we're going to jump on part 3. Does anybody have any questions before we're done with this live, or want to talk about anything at all? Now we have the open forum part of the show. Is there anything that anyone wants to talk about? Any questions? Make sure you guys, if you're gonna get into a relationship with a good dude, you find them. You like all of us, we have to handle our trauma. Okay. All right, guys. This will be up on the YouTube. If you have not already followed me on YouTube, I need you to go do that because I don't know when they'll shut off my live again, and I want to get everybody over there. Let me see. What advice do you give a dating single mother? The father is deceased. How how old is the child, and is the child a boy or a girl? That's the that's the question. How old is the child, and is the child a boy or a girl? 10. Oh, you have 2 kids. 10 a girl, 7 a boy. And how old is the woman? How old is the woman? 33. The advice that I would give is to date someone who's 10 to 15 years older who likes kids. That's the advice that I would give. Date someone that's 10 to 15 years older that likes kids. A good dating app for single moms and single fathers is an app called Stir, STIR. Pretty much everyone there on Stir has children. So that's a good app. And dating other single fathers with kids is good because you can put together a blended family. Don't target single men. 2 kids is a lot. 10 and 7, that's a lot for a man with no childless men is what I mean, not single men, childless men. That's rough for men without children to take on 2, 10 and 7. At the minimum, it's 11 years. And I would also say be open to having more kids. I see a lot on dating sites. A woman with a kid will put, I have kids and don't want any more, but I want marriage. Now, tell me how that makes sense. I have kids. I don't want more, but my goal is marriage. How does that make sense? If you can have kids and you want someone who could possibly want kids, you have to leave the possibility open that you will have children, more children, even if you are older and you're ready to quote unquote travel. That's how it is. If you want to open yourself up to more options. And that's good. So you can focus on that dating app, sir, and you can focus on men who have children and y'all can have a blended family. Blended families are working all the time. They're working. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I got to get out of here. Have a meeting tonight, big meeting. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to go and click on the link in the bio so you can, some of you guys got in here late. You click on the link in the bio and you can rewatch part 1 and part 2 will be up later on tonight. Your favorite, you can catch all of them. Just go and click on the link in my bio to YouTube and subscribe, and you'll see the lives that I've done that you missed. Thank you, guys.